Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. My name is Karis. I'm starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Welcome and thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, October 19th through Saturday, October 25th, 2025. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. Sunday, the sun's day, the cosmos is reminding us today to always take some time to balance out the problems of life, the things that you're always dealing with. There's always something going on. That's just called life. But the cosmos is really highlighting for us today with this moon in Libra conjunct Venus now at home in her castle in her home sign of Libra. This is a reminder that always make time for yourself, that no matter what's going on in your life, the importance of feeling good, pleasure, love, happiness. This is what Venus rules in astrology. And when Venus goes home to Taurus and Libra, where she expresses this at her most effective, we are starting off the week from this very lovely and loving reminder from the cosmos that always make time to balance out. This is what Libra does. It balances things out. Balance out the problems and stresses of life with making some time, even if it's just for an hour or so. Balance out life with making sure that what makes you happy, what gives you pleasure and joy and love, make time for that. It does keep us regulated and balanced. And so this Sunday, we've got the moon in Libra making a conjunction to Venus at home in Libra. Now, the exact moment of the conjunction that lasts for about a couple of hours. But what a couple of hours, because the two feminine planets, the moon and Venus in Libra, this is just sublime. It's so much fun. It's like that old song, Afternoon Delight. So whatever is delightful for you, makes you feel good, it's the feeling that you want to get to, that feeling of being centered and relaxed and happy and enjoying. Doesn't matter what it is. What matters for you is that it makes you happy. Could be a walk in the park, who knows, the way you want to spend some time balancing out the stresses and problems of life with making it a point. This is a very strong highlight from the cosmos to also balance things out. This is Libra, always regulating and balancing that happy time, pleasurable time. With Libra, it would mostly be with people because Libra is such a people-oriented sign that you enjoy the pleasures of life. We are in the dark balsamic moon phase right before the new moon in Libra. And when we are in the dark side of the moon, this is an inner contemplative state, a reflection before the time of the new moon action to think about where in our life we need more balance. This is Libra season. And also our relationships, are they out of balance? This is also a big part of what the sign of Libra is about. So before the new moon action, when we're off and running, starting something new again today, this sun's day, which puts things into our awareness, is about making time for yourself, balancing out relationships, just overall regulating and balancing your life. Now today on Sunday, we also have the moon in Libra making an opposition to Neptune in Aries, an air trine flow to Uranus in Gemini. That's lots of ideas and communication. We've got the moon in Libra making an air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius. This is make some friends, enjoy company. The sun in Libra makes an inconjunct aspect to Saturn now in Pisces, and we've got Mercury making a conjunction to Mars in its domicile, its strongest placement in the sign of Scorpio. This Mercury, which is the planet of the mind and communication, making a conjunction to Mars in its domicile, its strongest placement of Scorpio. This is very blunt, direct, straight to the point communication and speech. Now, there are times in life when blunt, direct speech can serve a very positive purpose. For instance, if you need the bottom line of what's going on with your finances, taxes, debt, inheritance, this is all the things that Scorpio rules over, merged money, then you don't want that sugar-coated. You just need the realistic bottom line of what's going on with your money. And or, let's say it's a medical diagnosis, and I hear this a lot as an astrologer, where my clients just want the doctor, the physician, to give them just the straight up, not only diagnosis, but with Mars in Scorpio, what can they do about it to fix the problem? So Mercury conjunct Mars in Scorpio, yes, it's very blunt speech and communication. It doesn't soften it up. It doesn't flower up the language. It's pretty much what is the bottom line. But even that, Mercury conjunct Scorpio, there are times in life when this can serve a very positive purpose in your life, meaning just give me the straight goods, and with the Mars in Scorpio that gets things done, what needs to be done to fix and solve the problem. Monday, the moon's day, October 20th, we have the moon in Libra making a square aspect of action to Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Now, the moon is an insatiable appetite, and the square is activation. It's taking action, and it's making this square to Jupiter, which is way over the top in the sign of Cancer. So the desire here with the moon square Jupiter is the desire to move forward and make your dreams come true. And these are big dreams with the moon square Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Dream big, dream as big as you possibly can and want to do. Also, we have the moon in Libra making an opposition to Chiron in Aries. So the moon in Libra, which is beauty and style, making this opposition to Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries, which says I am, and is very much about the appearance and image. This is a great desire here. Always the moon, an insatiable appetite and desire. This is where you are thinking about, contemplating right before the new moon about having a new look, a new image, a new style, a new brand that you feel and know will help you to make your Jupiter exalted in Cancer dreams come true. Now, Jupiter also ties into social media and all things publicity and the way you present yourself to the public all around the world and beyond, because this is the planet Jupiter. It doesn't recognize boundaries. It just keeps going and going. So this Monday, Moon's Day, is that action you're taking or thinking about taking right before the new moon, as far as how you want to create a new look, a new style, a new image, a new brand. Everybody is a brand today, whether they realize it or not. That is going to catapult you into the future, helping to make your dreams come true. Tuesday, Mars's Day, October 21st, we do have the new moon at 28 degrees Libra at the ending degrees. Now, the ending degrees of Libra brings in a Gemini influence or component to the sign of Libra. It's the third decadent, the third division of the sign of Libra. So with the new moon in Libra, with that Gemini influence, this is about being very open-minded about learning new things. Now, the new moon is the new action. And when it's in the sign of Libra, decide and take the action, because Libra can spend too much procrastination, too much time weighing and balancing, trying to make the final decision. Just get something started. Also, with this new moon in Libra, pay attention to your kidneys. Even if you're in perfect health, the sign of Libra rules over the kidneys. Now, the kidneys in your body mean different things, physically and symbolically. Physically, the kidneys are always regulating, weighing, and balancing the fluids, the minerals, cleansing out the blood, just like the sign of Libra that rules over the kidneys. Your kidneys are always weighing and balancing and regulating to keep you in balance and good health. The other thing about the kidneys is that there are ancient cultures that believe that the kidneys represent the deepest truth of how you really feel and the deepest truth of what you really want, your desires. So at this new moon time, being in touch with how do you really feel? What is the bottom line? And what is it that you truly desire? That also helps to keep the kidneys, meaning your balance and health, to keep your body in balance. So what Libra rules over, which is always the constant way nature is always balancing things, including us, is to take that scan of where you are at exactly with the physical health, but also your emotional and what you truly want balance and health. After the exact moment of the new moon, which is when the moon lines up with the sun, think of the moon at a rest stop, a power station. This is the sun, and the moon fills up with new light and power to start off on the new lunation, the new monthly journey. After that, the moon goes into her fall placement of fixed water Scorpio, and the moon in Scorpio, ruled by Mars, makes an inconjunct aspect of adjustments and changes, small changes, to Neptune in Aries. Then the moon in Scorpio makes an inconjunct aspect of adjustments and changes to the planet Uranus in Gemini. The moon then makes a square aspect to Pluto in Aquarius. So the moon in her fall placement brings up a lot of emotions connected to the past and the relationship you had with your mom. With the moon in its fall placement making these aspects of adjustments and changes, and then that square to Pluto, this is an opportunity to become more aware and purge, release, because Scorpio, ruled by Mars, cuts things away to release the subconscious programming, the emotions that you feel are holding you back. So this is a nice, wonderful opportunity right after the moment of the new moon to do some deep inner work as far as what are the programs, what is the subconscious doing that blocks you from taking care of yourself the way a mom, this is the moon, would take care of a child and all of the child needs. That can change. You can change that programming, as we all can. And with the moon in Scorpio in her fall, the way you are so tough on yourself, the way you're hard on yourself. This is the moon in Scorpio. It has a tendency to beat itself up. Now, this moon in Scorpio, the potential here with these aspects is to be really good emotionally, not just physically, emotionally, to be very kind to yourself and put a strong emphasis on the feeling of happiness and well-being and the joy of life. Wednesday, Mercury's Day, October 22nd, we have the outer generational planet Neptune now retrograding back into the sign of Pisces. Now, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, the philosopher. Jupiter sees the big picture of it all, the wisdom that we gain through experience. Jupiter is also the greater benefic, the guardian angel that blesses us with gratitude and happiness. With Neptune retrograding back now into Pisces, this is about the wisdom that has been learned through life. The late, great Nelson Mandela once said, "I never lose. I either win or learn." This is Neptune retrograding back into the sign of Pisces. That whatever you perceive as mistakes, you can shift the perception of making mistakes to, what did I learn? I didn't lose, I learned something. Big picture. This is the Jupiter, and Jupiter exalted in Cancer. So the Neptune retrograde in Pisces is just like that saying, you either win or you're learning all of the time. We also have the Sun in Libra making an inconjunct aspect of adjustment to Neptune in Pisces before the Sun enters its ingress into fixed water Scorpio. The Sun in Libra and Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, Libra and Pisces, they reflect each other. There's an underneath understanding and unspoken language where those two signs of the zodiac, they just get each other. Again, it's like an unspoken language of understanding that they're all about the peace and the beauty and the dream, and anything is possible. Now, later on Wednesday, the 22nd, we have the sun entering fixed water Scorpio, ruled by Mars. With the solar ingress of the sun in fixed water Scorpio, this is digging yourself up out of a hole that you have dug for yourself. This is rising again. Now, the sun in Libra is in its fall. It falls, meaning the daylight lessens each day as we approach the winter solstice. So with the solar ingress into Scorpio, which is very strong with its ruler Mars in its domicile, its most effective, strongest placement, this is coming back up again, rising up again after you have fallen in the sign of Libra. Now, Libra, that can be because of a decision that you've made. But the sun in Scorpio is determination. It's all of the energy and emotion backing up your desire, what it is that you want. Scorpio is black or white, strong desires. It's all or nothing with the sun in Scorpio. It's passionate and it's taking the action with Scorpio being ruled by Mars. It's taking the action of what it is that you truly want. So the new moon in Libra was about checking in with the truth of the kidneys and what they represent, the deepest desires and how you really feel. And now the sun is rising up after the fall into Libra as far as what are you passionate about and what are you willing to do about it, with fixed water Scorpio being ruled by Mars, which takes the action. And here's a very strong clue when it comes to the sign of fixed water Scorpio. If the action taken is to forgive someone, to let it go, because fixed water Scorpio, that emotion when Scorpio is really hurt and let down, like the fixed sign of Taurus, the action isn't necessarily an outward doing of something action. The action is with the fixed water Scorpio, which is the emotions. Now, Scorpio can burn and seethe and just hold on to something, meaning a negative emotion like unforgiveness, way past the point of when it should have been let go of. So if the action taken is you're finally going to let something go in your life, release it and forgive it, then that can be one of the moments of your life to finally forgive. Because when we don't forgive, guess who that controls? You, not the other person. So it's not this big outward demonstration with the solar ingress into Scorpio. It's not a big outer demonstration of doing something, although it could be. But with Scorpio, fixed water Scorpio, that is so intense, so all or nothing, it could be that you're finally going to let something go and see how you feel after you finally let something go that has had a hold over you for way too long. Thursday, Jupiter's day, and we now have the sun in fixed water Scorpio. We also have the moon in Scorpio making a conjunction to the planet Mars, a conjunction to Mercury in Scorpio, a water trine flow to Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Then the moon in Scorpio makes an inconjunct aspect to Chiron in Aries, Uranus in Gemini. The moon in Scorpio makes a water trine flow to Saturn in Pisces. Jupiter exalted in Cancer makes a square aspect to Chiron in Aries. The moon in Scorpio makes a water trine flow to Neptune now in Pisces. And then the moon enters Sagittarius, mutable fire Sagittarius. And the moon in Sagittarius makes an opposition to the planet Uranus in Gemini. All of these watery aspects involving the sun, the moon, Jupiter, all of it. This is like the floodgates of creativity and abundance, an ocean of emotion, and then some, a tsunami of emotion. This is just the flow of creative ideas and the feeling and the release in a healthy way of tremendous emotion because you finally let something go. Then the moon enters Sagittarius, which is reaching for the stars. Think of the symbol of the archer gazing up into the heights in the heavens and just going for it with the belief, with the trust that yes, you are going to make your creative projects come true. What a day right after the new moon and all of this water flow in Scorpio and Cancer. It's just beautiful. It depends on how you channel the energy, but the energy, the emotion, because emotion is energy, the energy is certainly there for the sky is the limit. What do you want to create in your life? The cosmos is backing you up with these aspects. Friday, Venus's day, the moon in Sagittarius makes a sextile aspect to Pluto and Aquarius. This is make some new friends. Get out there, be social. This is very happy and fun when we blend Sagittarius and Aquarius. A couple of rabble rouses up to some mischief in a very playful and harmless way, but that's a fun aspect. Sun in Scorpio makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius. These are very powerful forces as far as what friends you keep in your life and what acquaintances and friendships are not really in alignment with who and what you are. And our friends who we connect to, this is so important because it's an enmeshment of energy and vibration and frequency. Then the Mercury in Scorpio makes an inconjunct aspect to Chiron in Aries, and Mercury in Scorpio then makes a water trine flow to Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Now, all of this is about the preparation, creating the conditions, meaning there is a time to plant the seed, then a season when the seed will grow and blossom. And so in your mind with Mercury in Scorpio, especially with this water trine flow to Jupiter exalted in Cancer, this is about thinking, because the mind is how we are preparing the foundation, preparing the conditions for what will grow in your life. The Mercury in Scorpio making this water trine flow to Jupiter exalted in Cancer is gratitude. When you say thank you for everything in your life, this is a Jupiter exalted in Cancer. You're thinking positively, you're thinking abundantly, you're thinking with a lot of gratitude. This is the planet Jupiter. So when those conditions are prepared, think of your mind, it's a garden, it's a soil, and you're thinking in connection to what it is that you want to manifest in your life. These are beautiful aspects today, especially with the Mercury trine Jupiter exalted in Cancer on Friday, Venus's day. Saturday, Saturn's day, October 25th, we've got the moon in Sagittarius making a sextile to Venus at home in Libra. This is beautiful, so much fun. With Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, Jupiter exalted in Cancer, Venus in her home placement. That again is another really enjoyment, feel good vibration and frequency. Then Mercury in Scorpio makes a water trine flow to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Now the Saturn retrograde, Saturn is business and it doesn't like to be rushed. Saturn takes its time if nothing else. So a retrograde is always go back and look over something a second, a third time, just like how we hear about Mercury retrograde. Before you make that final deal, that final handshake and sign on the dotted line, just go back with the Mercury making that trine to Saturn retrograde in Pisces, that the deal is exactly the way you're wanting it to be, expecting it to be. Just go over a business deal as we close out the week on Saturn's day. Then the moon in Sagittarius makes a fire trine flow to Chiron in Aries. This is a whole new sense of you and moving forward in your life with that. And the moon in Sagittarius then makes an inconjunct aspect of adjustments and changes to its ruler, Jupiter exalted in Cancer. This is about finding your tribe, attracting in your true family, your people, and it's a lot of fun as well. As we are in Halloween month and the holiday seasons, this is really enjoyable. So we've got a lot of good astrological cosmic energy this week. Some things to be aware of, like on Saturn's day, make sure the business deal is correct. But other than that, the cosmos is highlighting for us that it is a season, it is a time to rise again and come back from when the sun was in its fall placement of Libra. So a lot of strength, a lot of determination, a lot of the flow of water, which is the emotion, the creativity, and the releasing of just letting something go that's had too much power and control over you emotionally. Beautiful aspects this week. Lovely week ahead in astrology. Thank you everyone for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. I will see you all in the stars.